Okay, in this lab I want to show you how to configure DHCP. So here router 1 is playing the role of DHCP server, and I have to give IP addresses to G00 and G01 manually, and I want this interface and these hosts, they receive their IP addresses dynamically. Alright, let's go to the terminal and check. First of all, let's check our PCs. They don't have any kind of IP. So if I type show here, we see that we don't have any IP here, and no gateway and no DNS server. So if we type show IP all, there is no DNS server. Okay, let's show no IP address, and PC3 no IP address. Okay, we go to router 1 and let's give G00 and G01 IP addresses. So we go to configure terminal, and then we go to interface G00, and then IP address, let's say 10.0.0.1, sorry, that's 1, and 255.255.255.0, and let's enable the interface. No shot. Okay, then let's go to interface G01, and then IP address, let's say this one is 20.0.0.1. okay, no shot. Okay, to configure DHCP as a server in this router, we have to go to configure mode. So type exit, come out, and then we can type IP DHCP pool. We have to determine a pool, and we have to give it a name. So I choose, for example, 1, and then we have to give the range. So network 10.0.0.0 255.255.255.0. okay, so then we have to configure our default router and our DNS server. So we type default router is gonna be 10.0.0.1, and our DNS server is gonna be 10.0.0.1. okay, then after this we have to determine which IP addresses we want to reserve for ourselves and which IP addresses we don't want. So the command that we can use for reserving IP addresses for ourselves, it's I believe it's IP DHCP excluded addresses, yes, and then we give them the range of IP that we want to reserve it for ourselves, 1 up to, for example, 10. Okay, that's it. And then we can go to configure the other part, the other interface, actually other network. So we say IP DHCP pool, and we give it a name, and then in the DHCP configuration mode we configure the network 20.0.0.0 255.255.255.0. Then we have to configure default router and DNS server. So default router is going to be 20.0.0.1, and DNS server is going to be 20.0.0.1. And after that, like the previous one, we have to configure our excluded addresses. So IP DHCP excluded addresses here is 20.0.0.1 up to 20.0.0.10. Alright, I think that's it. Then we exit, and then we go to our PCs here, PC1. So to enable DHCP for this PC, we type IP DHCP, and I think it's dash, let's put question mark, dash X and then dash R. Okay, dash X and then dash R. Okay, here PC1 receive its IP address. You can check it here, or we can say show IP all, and you can see that the range is out of that range that which we reserve for ourselves. So it's 10.0.0.11. Gateway is configured, DNS server is configured. We go to PC2. Again, we say that IP DHCP, I forgot the command, IP DHCP -X and -R, -X and -R. Also for PC3, IP DHCP -X and IP DHCP -R. So for PC2, we can check that we have another IP address here, and we can check it here, show IP all. Yeah. We have our DNS server, gateway, and IP. And also here show IP all. Yes, the next one is for our PC3. Alright, now it's the time to give a dynamic address for this interface here. So we go to our router 2 and go to configure terminal, conf-d, and it's just one command, and it's gonna be IP DHCP, and I think so IP address, and I think here we can't use. Oh, we have to go to the interface G00, then IP address, and then DHCP. And I think that's gonna give us a dynamic address. Let's check. Show IP interface brief. And let's enable that one. Go to interface conf t interface g0 0 no shot. Okay, state is up, protocol is up, and here we can see that we assigned the DHCP address here. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.